Welcome back to another video. Yes, you read it right. A Skoda Superb. But this isn't any Skoda Superb. It is a 4x4 Skoda Superb. Don't know if that makes it any better, to be honest. It's a very high spec model. It belongs to a subscriber customer. He's basically bought it from Copart. He's brought it to me and said, pimp it out, basically. He's got some Bentley, 20-inch Bentley wheels, coilovers to go on it. It needs a bunch of paintwork. It's not, the bodywork's not particularly clean. I think it's an old NHS car, so it's just sort of been beaten around a bit, but well maintained. It has got full service history, stuff like that. Right, so anyway, let's go and see if we can get it in the workshop. It has actually got a snapped hub. The steering arm has sort of torn the hub off, snapped it right off. So we've only got steering with one wheel. So hopefully we can get it, it's parked literally directly opposite the door. So hopefully we can just nice straight line it into the ramp. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so it has been sat here a couple of weeks. So the moment of truth, will it start? Oh! Good old reliable VAG. I won't say Skoda. It's all the same thing now. I remember when Skoda was a massive stigma, and you said, you know, you used to take the piss out of kids at school saying your dad owns a Skoda, but not anymore. Volkswagen now. Anyway, we're going to attempt to drive this into that unit there with a broken hub and no steering on the right hand side. So let's give it a whirl. Quite happy to go forwards, just not backwards. It's crabbing. Let's get the bar in. There we go. Lovely. Just having a little look around this bumper. I was on the ramp. I think I'm going to have to give him a shout and get him to get a new bumper. It's just pointless, I think, trying to repair this. It's going to take more time to repair this than it would be just to get another bumper, even in another colour, and give it a lick of paint. I mean, you've got like, it's just everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So, get a new bumper, Will. I ain't repairing that. Oh, look at that. I mean, the thing is, it's an oldish car-ish, is it? Well, yeah, we say that. Yeah, it's 10 years old now. So it's an oldish car, so can't expect it to be perfect, and it's only going to be a runabout for him, so I think we just get stuff like this sorted down here, get all that sorted and get all the rattle can spray off everywhere, and it should be good enough. I might take the mud guards off. Don't think they're going to look very cool when it's lowered. Oh, that one's got paint on it. Yeah, anyway, at least he doesn't have to put new brakes on the back.
Okay, so first things first, we're going to get the wire brush and the penetrating spray out because this thing is rusty. Next up, we're going to remove the spring cup that holds the spring, or the arm. And then once that's out of the way, we can remove the shock with the bottom bolt there. Next, we're going to remove the arch liner. Well, we're not going to remove it entirely. We're going to remove this Torx bolt here and this Torx bolt here. And what that does is it allows us to just pull back the arch liner and access the bolts for the top mount. So there's one just there, and there's one over there. So next up, we're going to be removing the top mount from the old shock. and then we're going to need to transfer it to the new shock because they don't come with them. So easy enough, just a 16mm off the top and swap it over to the new shock. So next up we've got the spring. So we're going to be reusing the bottom rubber from the original spring, and we're going to be leaving the top one out because it doesn't need one because it's got the spring adjuster. So important thing to remember, the spring adjuster always goes on the top. Do not put it on the bottom, it's not designed to go on the bottom. Anyway, that's that.
Right, well that's the backs in. If anyone ever asks you how to fit suspension to a Skoda Superb 4x4, you can do, no one's going to ask you that, are they? But if you did want to know, there you go. I'm sure it's similar to other vehicles, but yeah, people like to watch these things even if they don't want to do it themselves, I've found. So on with the fronts. Right, Volkswagen fronts. They love doing this just to piss everyone off. Sleeved front shocks. And look at the state of this. This is going to be joyous, I reckon, to get that out. So with these, basically the easiest thing to do, remove the drive shaft, remove the 3 bolts underneath, and then you can basically take the hub out the way. And normally I just put them on a bottle jack, sort of sat here. That's the hub and the brake and the caliper and the disc. Yeah, obviously this is snapped here, so we're going to be replacing this hub anyway, so we're going to take it all off. But if you were just doing a suspension, you would literally leave the hub over here with the caliper and the disc still on it. Probably want some discs as well. And then hammer this off. Top side, it's got captive nuts. Let's have a look under here. So the captive nuts there. And always soak them because they have a tendency, these, to snap the captive nuts off. So the captive nuts are under here, and then on top of here, sort of buried in there, you can see the top of the nuts. Bolts. Why don't I call them nuts? Captive nuts with a bolt that goes through them. That's a bit more like it. Anyway, let's get cracking. Okay, so shocks out. Left the hub on because that's going in the bin anyway, and I expect most of this is as well. I always thought that these were captive nuts, but they're not. They're just rotten in. So this one's actually let go. So the only way you're going to get on those is with this thing called a crow's foot, because the access in here is very difficult because the sort of springs in the way, and the top cap from the strut top mount sort of gets in the way, and you can't get a socket on it. So yeah, a nice little cut out crow's foot. Focus. Now, however. Yeah, so basically now we're gonna clamp the spring, remove the strut top, transfer the strut top to the coilover unit, fit the new hub to the coilover unit, put it back in the car. Talking. Right, first coilover shock's in, all bolted up. I had problems again with that stupid back one, can't see it up there. Yeah, so you have to use the crow's foot to put it back in. But yeah, they're looking all right. A little bit of damage on them out the box, and this one's missing a screw. So I'm gonna have to give Will a call and see what's going on with that. We might be able to find one to go in there, but that should have like an Allen key headed bolt in there to tighten that. So it hasn't got like a conventional double ring sort of lock system. It's just got one ring with a bolt through it, which is not something I've seen before. But yeah, anyway, let's get on. We're going to get the new hub, which has that bit still on it, fitted, and then we can move on to the next one. Right, we're almost ready to drop the car down. What I've noticed is, I reckon the front's going to fit perfect. Once the car comes down, the camber's going to come in, and I reckon the front are absolutely bang on for fitment. The rears, on the other hand, sit a little further in. Let's come around this way. So I reckon what we're going to do, we're going to go, I've got some H&R spacers off the R8, they're 10mm. So I'm going to chuck these on, and hopefully we'll then have perfect fitment. Let's see. Right, we've got the camera set up here on the rear arch. That's the one I'm more concerned about. So let's go down and see if this thing fits. Keep an eye on the front as well. Damn. Yeah, it's too far out. I think I misjudged that one. The front has actually sat perfect, and I think the rear needs that 10mm taken off. Right, let's go back up. Let's take 10mm off and see how it looks. Round 2. Spacer's now off. Wheels back on without a spacer. Let's see how it looks. Don't know, does it? I think it, to be honest, I think the problem is here is, I think that back one actually fits perfectly, but the front, on the other hand, I don't know, it's close. The front one looks like it's out further, but it seems to fill the arch exactly the same. The tyre just slightly tucks in, which is what you want. Well, I don't know. Let's see how we get on. Anyway, let's get this off the ramp and we can see what it looks like as a whole. Well, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It looks really good. I think he's nailed the colour on the wheels. It works so well with the sort of gunmetal-y brown, really weird colour. But it just all works really well together. So we've got a few little issues at the moment. We've got some scrubbing issues where the impact from the front bumper and the wing, it's pulled the bumper bracket down, and the bumper bracket is rubbing on the wheel. But as far as ride height goes, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously we have to see what Will says. Let's see if he's happy with it, but I think without driving it, we aren't going to know either. And it's going to settle as well, so we might have to wind the back up a touch. But as for fitment, they're actually like they're made for it, really. Yeah, really suited wheel to this car. Fitment's great. So anyway, we're going to leave it as that because there's no more to do at the moment. I might do a little video on the paintwork because there's loads of it to do. But might do a little video on that, might not, I don't know. We'll see how we go with this one. But thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. 'Cause maybe it's not